Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
Today
salam.
we're going to use the board because I wanted to draw you a map of what we've done with the 4 properties, because as we go on, I want this stuff to be in your head and accessible quickly, okay? And the way my teacher taught me, he made me a chart on paper. This was maybe 15 years ago and it's still in my head. I haven't reviewed it since. It's just in my head, and I want that to be in your head, okay?
Okay.
So we've done lots of notes and different kinds of discussions and things, but once you put it inside this chart, then it should, a whole number of rules should just come in one place for you.
Okay.
Now, in our review thus far, we've talked about status, and we have talked a little bit about number, but not entirely about number. This will give us the chance to talk entirely about number also.
Okay.
Because you've done that before, it'll kind of serve as review.
Yeah.
And then we can go back to our regular sessions with the in-class activities and the teacher-led activities and all of that, okay? So this session is really about the map, and I want you to draw the map along with me, okay? So we're on top, we're writing ism. And if you don't want to write the Arabic, it's fine. You can just write ism, okay? How many properties does the ism have?
4.
Okay, so there are 4 boxes. Status, number, gender, and type, right? So each one of these is a box. You with me so far?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to draw on these 2 boxes. Which 2 boxes?
Status and number.
And the purpose of drawing this out is just to summarize our thoughts, okay? So under status, I'm going to say forms, and I'm going to leave some space, and I'm going to say how to tell, and then I'm going to say light versus what?
Heavy.
Heavy. And then I'm going to say flexibility. Okay? That's a summarized version of this. Now, I told you to do it landscape on your notes, okay? Now, what are the forms of i'rab? What are the forms of status?
Rafa nasab jar.
That's right. So you just write R, N, J.
Okay.
Why do we write R and J?
Rafa nasab jar.
So we don't have to write the whole essay out. It's just a map, so you can keep it brief, right? And then the other thing is, for rafa, you can write in very small letters. You can write doer.
Okay.
And here you can write what?
Detail.
Mm-hmm.
After of.
Detail. And after of. But we're going to add something, so be careful now. For rafa, I'm going to write doer, and I'm also going to write default.
Okay.
Let me explain what that means so you're keeping up, okay? Default means if a word has no reason to be nasab or jar, you should leave it alone and it should be rafa. Some time ago in the 5th unit, when we talked about mubtada, I said mubtada has no reason to be nasab or jar, so we always leave the mubtada alone and we leave it into rafa, right? So the rafa part is doer and default. I've written it it's small for you guys to see on the board, so just pay attention. Under R, I'm writing doer and default. Those are the 2 comments. Under nasab, originally I write detail, right? Yeah. Which is a maf'ul. We talked about it as a maf'ul, like a detail of an act. But I'll write one more thing, and that is harf of nasab. Meaning a victim of a harf of nasab is nasab also, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 2 kinds of nasab. I've got either a detail of a fi'il, or I've got a victim of a harf of nasab. That's the 2 kinds of nasab I have so far. And even jar, there are 2 kinds of jar. We have the mudaf ilayh, which is after of, but what else do we have? By the way, the after of is a mudaf ilayh, so you should have that in your notes.
Okay.
Right?
Mudaf ilayh.
But what's the other kind of jar?
Harf of jar.
That's right, the victim of a harf of jar. So now our notes look more complete, So now I'm going to erase this, and you're not going to look in your notes, and you're going to tell me what was here from memory, because I need this map to be in your head.
Okay.
Okay? So tell me about the forms.
Forms. Okay, there's rafa, which is doer and default.
Good. Explain to me what default is. Doer, I know you understand. It's fa'il, it's the doer of the fi'l.
I can't really understand stuff.
Okay, that's fine. That's why I'm asking you.
Okay.
So default means that, whenever you see an ism in Arabic, then it's supposed to be rafa.
Okay.
you have to have a really good reason to turn it into nasb. And you have to have a really good reason to turn it into
jar.
jar.
Okay.
Those really good reasons are under the nasab and the jar notes. But even if a word is not a doer, if an ism is not a doer, it should still be left alone in what status? In rafa status. That idea that it should be left alone in rafa status, undisturbed, that's called default. Default
okay.
means how is it supposed to be to begin with?
Okay.
Okay, that's what that means. Now you explain it to me.
Okay, so it's like a word, an ism is usually rafa unless it has a reason to be nasab or jar.
Very good. And that's the word default.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So we've got rafa is because it's a doer, like an inside doer, outside doer. Remember the fa'il thing?
Yeah.
It's either that or it's because it's default. What about nasab?
Nasab is detail and the harf of jar.
No, not harf of jar. Make something nasab.
harf of nasab.
What are the harf of nasab? Do you remember?
Inna, annaka, anna, layta, lakinna, la.
Good. What about jar?
It's after of, mudaf ilayh,
Which is mudaf ilayh.
and harf of jar.
Yes. Which are the harf of jar?
باتا كاف لام واو منذ مدخل رب حشم عدا في عن على حتى إلى.
Very good. Okay. Now, that's the forms. We're done with forms. Now we're moving on to what?
How to tell.
How to tell. All right. Under how to tell, and you know what I'm going to do just to make it easy for everybody? I'm going to move it up because we already discussed forms and I've erased it. So I'm going to move it up here so we can see it more clearly. How to tell status even. How to tell status. Okay. So there is, we could just put it as A, ending sounds. B, ending combinations. C, pronouns. There's more to say here, but this is good enough for us, okay? Now let's talk about ending sounds. The ending sounds are u or un, which means rafa,
Rafa,
a or an, which means
nasab,
nasab, and e or in, which is
jar.
jar. Those are the ending sounds. And I use the light version and the heavy version, and the light version and the heavy version, and the light version and the heavy version. Because it doesn't matter if it's light or heavy, it's still the same status. What about the ending combinations? What are those?
Ani, aini, aini.
That's right. So we're going to say the Muslim chart. So ani
Ani,
is 2 rafa, etc.
aini,
And you should know the rest. Aini is 2 nasab or 2 jar. Una is plural rafa. And even the light version. So it's ani or a. Aini or ay, etc. Right? So that goes under ending combinations. You with me? Okay, so I'm going to erase this so it's, again, easier to see. You're going to draw this really nicely for me.
Okay.
Like a really clean, neat chart.
Okay.
Okay, on poster board.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be an art project for you.
Sure.
Okay, and I'm going to put it up here so the world can see what you did. So it better be good.
Okay.
You understand? Okay, and that's today. You're doing this today.
Okay.
Now, pronouns.
Nouns. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna,
Right, but
anta.
we're talking about status. How to tell status. Do you remember the conversation about how do you tell status of a pronoun?
They're always rafa unless they're attached.
Right, the independent ones. The independent ones are rafa, and the attached ones can only be
Nasab or jar.
nasab or jar. Now, when are they nasab and when are they jar? When they're independent, they're rafa. You got that much?
Yeah.
Okay, when are they nasab? They're nasab when they're after a harf of nasab. Okay, so if, for example, what's the attached version of huwa?
Who?
So if you see innahu,
Then
innahu, then that hu
nasab.
part is
Nasab.
nasab because it's attached to a harf of
Nasab.
nasab. Okay. It's also nasab if it's attached to a fi'il.
Okay.
So for example, if I say allama, allama means he taught. What does allamaha mean?
He taught it. No. Taught her.
He taught her.
Oh.
So you're the detail, right? So the ha becomes a detail, which means it's nasab,
Okay.
right? You paying attention or you're zoning out?
I'm paying attention.
Okay. So it's an attached pronoun is nasab if it's beat up by a harf of nasab, or if it's attached to a fi'l,
fi'l.
it becomes its detail. Who did he teach? He taught her. Okay? And you know, when you make this chart, you're going to give me an example of each. You're not just going to write the rule. You're going to say, well, what's an example that helps me understand this?
Okay.
You know, e.g. something, e.g. something. So here might be innahu, here might be allamaha,
Okay.
like that, just so you can remember what that was about, okay? Now I'm taking that off again. Are you taking it in your notes?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no, don't take it in your notes. Let's see what your art project looks like. That's fine.
No.
Have fun. What about, when is a attached pronoun jar? How many arrows did I draw under jar?
2.
2. You know why I drew 2 arrows? Because there are 2 reasons for a word to be jar. You already wrote that under your forms. What are the 2 reasons?
Mudaf. Mudaf ilayh
Mm-hmm.
and harf of jar.
So when a pronoun is attached to an ism, it becomes a mudaf ilayh, and a harf of jar, it becomes jar. 2 reasons for it to be jar. So how do you say our, let's say our pen?
Okay.
How do you say that?
Qalamuna.
Qalamuna. So the qalam is the mudaf, and na is the mudaf ilayh, pen of ours. So the our part is jar.
Jar.
Okay. How do you say in it?
Fihi.
Good. Fihi. The fi is a harf of jar. The he is its victim. Those are the 2 times a pronoun is jar.
Okay.
Let me recap quickly. Pronouns, the independent ones are all rafa. What are the independent pronouns? Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu. Those are the independent pronouns. Those are all what status? Rafa.
Rafa.
Okay. The attached ones are huwa becomes hu, huma,
Huma.
hum,
Hum.
hiya,
Ha.
huma,
Huma.
hunna,
Honna.
anta,
Ka.
anti,
Ki.
antuma,
Kuma.
antum,
Kum.
antunna,
Kunna.
nahnu,
Na.
ana.
Ni or e.
Good. Now, the attached ones can only be
Nasab or jar.
nasab or jar. When are they nasab?
After a harf of nasab
Good.
or a fi'l.
When are they jar?
After harf of jar or after mudaf ilayh.
After mudaf ilayh. After a mudaf.
Ism.
Right, after an ism. And an ism with a pronoun is always mudaf ilayh anyway. Okay? So those are your notes on how to tell status. You with me so far?
Yes.
You're going to draw this out. Why? Why am I going to make you draw this out?
So I can remember it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It better be nice.
Can I use a ruler?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're not going to write HTTS. What are you going to write?
How to tell status.
That's right. And you better not start drawing it and then run out of space. Like, you got to know the whole thing so you can.
No.
Okay, what's the next one? Light versus
versus heavy.
heavy.
hmm
What do you know about the light versus heavy? What do you remember?
Normally a word is light.
Okay, so write that here. Normally a word is light. That's what you remember?
Heavy, sorry.
Normally H. Okay. How many reasons should a word have to be heavy? Or to be light?
4.
Good. 4 reasons for L. What are they?
Mudaf.
Excellent. Mudaf.
When you're calling someone.
Calling.
Partly flexibles.
Partly flexible.
And one more.
You absolutely do not remember. You absolutely do not remember.
What's the word?
Nose pull.
Ow. No, that's not the word. The word is La nafiyatun lil jins.
Excellent. Oh my God, so proud. Very good. La nafiyatun lil jins. Sweet chicken.
Mm.
Even though the chicken doesn't taste good when it's sweet, but good.
It does actually. Make these patties with sugar chicken.
Normal to be heavy, 4 reasons to be light.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Now, we're going to add one more piece of notes here. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to erase again. The other comment I'll write under light versus heavy is, how do you know if something is light or heavy? Extra N sound on page 6
Okay.
means heavy. We did this just recently. Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin. All of them have an extra N sound. The light version of all of that is what?
Muslimu, Muslima, Muslimi.
That's right. That's right. Now, one last comment here. Sorry, something else came in my head. When al is there, it doesn't matter. Meaning light, heavy, the question doesn't matter. When a word has al on it, you don't ask, is it light or heavy? You don't care anymore. You got that?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So that's light versus heavy, our notes, all in one place. Let's see if you can recall them from memory as much as possible now.
Okay.
Don't look in your notes.
I know.
Go ahead.
Normally, a word is heavy.
Very good.
There are 4 reasons for it to be light. It could be partly flexible,
Good.
a mudaf,
Yes.
if you're calling someone,
Yes.
and then nafiyatun al-jins.
Excellent. Go on.
What's next?
Let's think. When do you not need to ask that question? When does it not matter?
Al.
Okay. That's another observation.
Okay.
And then how do you know if something is light or heavy? Like you know
by
what is
the
light or
extra
heavy?
noon sound.
Which comes from?
Tanween
Yeah,
or
page-
ending combination.
Good. Then we know ending combination meaning page 6. That's why we said page 6. Okay. Now, last discussion. Flexibility.
Okay, flexibility.
Okay. What do we know about flexibility?
There are 3 types of flexibility.
Good. Fully,
So, fully, non-flexible.
partly,
Oh yeah, partly.
and non. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Fully, just all you have to know is page 6, which means all you have to know is what? Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin. Anything with a combination is fully flexible. Anything with a tanween generally is fully flexible. Partly flexible. What do you know? You have to know its weaknesses and you have to know its types. There's two issues. Okay? So
Okay,
weaknesses and categories. You can say categories. So from here on out, when you think about partly flexibles, you're going to think of it as weaknesses and categories. Its weaknesses are, it has to be light and it cannot have no kasra.
No kasra?
No kasra. It has to be light and no kasra. Remember Yusufu, Yusufa, and
Yusufa.
Yusufa. So it's light, because it's not Yusufun,
Yeah.
and it can't have kasra.
Okay.
Those are the 2 weaknesses. Which categories does this weakness apply to? It's
Okay.
places.
Places.
Oops. Do they have to be Arab places? Do you remember?
No.
They don't have to be Arab places. Good. So places.
Non-Arab names.
Good. Non-Arab names. You should write the exception here too, right here. Unless.
3 letters.
Good. And actually places unless 3 letters. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Places unless 3 letters, non-Arab names unless 3 letters. You with me?
Okay.
We'll add a couple of categories here because you didn't have them before, but now I'm going to give them to you. These are the 2 main ones you need to know for the Quran, and the only categories I'm going to give you in this course are the ones that you need for the Quran. Okay? So we're going to write certain plurals
Okay.
They tend to be long ones with an alif, an extra alif. Let me explain what that means, okay? So what's the plural of masjid?
Masajid.
Good. Masajid is a long plural with an alif in there.
Yeah.
That tends to be partly flexible. Masajidu, masajida, masajida. Okay? Misbah means lamp. Misbah means what?
Lamp.
Masabih, masabih means lamps.
Okay.
Okay? Masabih is actually partly flexible. Is there an alif in there? You hear it? Masabih?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or nabi. What's the plural of nabi?
And yeah.
Anbiya. Yeah. Anbiya has an alif in there?
Yes.
So chances are it's partly flexible. So it's anbiya'u, anbiya'a, anbiya'a. You got it? So that's this certain plurals. It's not all plurals. It's just certain plurals. Okay? And particularly, obviously, they're broken plurals. Okay? Not all broken plurals. Just the ones that are extra long and have an alif in there somewhere, they tend to have this problem. Okay? Now, let's take one more step. What else? One last one. You don't know this, so I'll tell you. Comparatives. Colors.
Colors? Okay.
Yeah, comparative colors and body defects. This is one category to the Arabs. You'll have to remember them as all as one. Comparatives, colors, and body defects. The reason they're all together, and we will do a longer study of them when I teach you more advanced sarf, inshallah.
Okay.
But for now, a comparative is something like, let me write it bigger here in Arabic, something like akbar.
Or asghar.
Akbaru.
Okay.
Now, or you're right, asghar is a good comparative too. What does asghar mean?
Smaller? Smallest?
That's right. It doesn't mean smallest, it means smaller. Okay? So akbar is bigger and asghar is smaller. Now, all comparatives, they sound like this. They begin with a, like they sound like af'alu, ahsanu, afdalu.
Okay.
Okay? And whenever they sound like that, then they become partly flexible.
Okay.
Okay? So the reason colors and body defects are in this category is because they sound like that too. Okay, so for example, do you know in your school, no, hamra is feminine. What's the masculine?
Ahmar?
That's right. So you have akbar. Let me erase this, okay?
Alright.
Because we're done with the partly flexible stuff now.
Ahmar, asfar, abyad.
Yeah, good. Asfar is what color?
Yellow. I like
Asfar.
Akhdar.
Abyad.
Akhdar. No, stop.
Ahmar. Fine.
Yay.
Akhdar. Okay? Now, these colors, they sound like akbar,
Yes.
which is why they are partly flexible. So it's asfaru, asfara, asfara. Ahmaru, ahmara, ahmara. Abyadu, abyada, abyada. Akhdaru, akhdara, akhdara. Got it? Similarly, you have someone that has a, let's say, somebody who has a sickness is a'raj. Okay?
Okay.
A'raj. Or abkam is someone who can't speak. This is a body defect.
Okay.
Okay? You know why they're put in this category? Because it sounds like what words?
Akbar.
Akbar and abiyad and abkam. You get it?
Okay.
So just because they belong to this rhyme scheme, that's why they're put in this category. So now, unlike before, you don't have two categories of partly flexible. You now have 4 categories of partly flexible. So let's discuss partly flexible again. I'll tell you and then you'll regurgitate it to me, okay? This is all going in your chart, by the way, chicken face. So the first category was, what kinds of words are partly flexible? The first category was?
Places.
Places, good. Second was non-Arab names. Both exceptions are 3 letters.
Yes.
The third category was
Certain plurals.
which tend to be long and have an alif in them.
Mhm.
And then the final category was three things bunched together.
Colors, body defects, and comparatives.
Good. Colors, body defects, and comparatives. And what draws them together? Why do we bunch them together?
They all sound the same.
They all sound the same. They have the af'alu pattern. They have the af'alu pattern, which
Okay.
means any color, any body defect, or any comparative is not going to have tanween, is not going to have kasra.
Okay.
Like, you know, in the Quran, I'll give you an example from the Quran. أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِأَعْلَمَ
Alam.
بِأَعْلَمَ بِمَا فِي صُدُورِ الْعَالَمِينَ. This is in the Quran. Now, ba, you know, is a harf of jar. What is it supposed to do to أعلم?
Make it jar.
But it's not.
It is. It could be.
Yeah, it doesn't show it
Yeah.
because it's mamnu' min as-sarf. It's partly flexible. Got it?
Mhm.
So that is your partly flexible notes. What's next?
What's next?
We have fully flexible, that's done. We have partly flexible, that's done. What's left?
Non-flexible.
Non-flexible, that is correct. When we talk about non-flexible, previously, well, first let's make an observation. We should also do the same thing here. Weaknesses and what? Weaknesses and what? Categories. You understand the logic behind doing weaknesses and categories, right?
Yes.
In other words, whatever category you have has the same weakness.
Uh-huh.
That's why you do this.
Okay.
Weakness is no different in any status. Whatever it is, it is.
Okay.
That's its weakness. What are the categories? The easiest category is words that end,
With alif maqsura.
yeah, with alif maqsura. Okay, good memory. Isa, Musa, Huda, Bushra, Yusra, Kubra, you name it, Husna. Okay, Huda, you already got.
Yeah.
So that would all be under here. Okay, doesn't matter if it's a man's name, Arab word, non-Arab word. If it ends with alif maqsura, case closed. You can't do anything about it. Okay?
Okay.
Sometimes that alif maqsura also has a tanween on it.
Okay.
Like hudan. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ hudan. Right? That's okay. That's still non-flexible, meaning the three ways of saying hudan is what? Hudan, hudan. Okay? Another category here would be pointers. Most pointers anyway. هذا, what's the رفع نصب جر? هذا.
هذا.
أولئك, all of it's the same. It's the only time pointers change are when the pairs come. But that can wait. I don't want to teach you that yet. The pairs are always flexible in anything. Okay?
Okay.
Pointers. I'm thinking that's good enough for you.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's good enough. Inshallah, next time we'll talk about number. But before we do, you're going to give me a quick recap of everything.
Everything.
Everything. Off the top of your head, no paper in front of you.
What?
Yep.
Wait,
That's
can
what
I
a map
just
is.
peek for a second?
A map is a mind map.
Okay.
Let's go.